for Golden Skate, and I'm very, very happy to be here joined today by Nadiia, Bashynska and Peter. Yes, you help me with pronouncing the name. I'm a little bit afraid
of my last name.
A French sounding
name, yes.
So thanks for helping with that. You two are looking back, I think, on a great last season. Maybe you can reflect a little bit on that. What were your highlights? Talk us through a little bit.
Well, to end our last junior season with 2 junior Grand Prix medals, a gold final medal, and a medal from Worlds, and to get a new Canadian record is fantastic. Yeah, it's like, for me, I think we've achieved all of our goals this year.
To say that we achieved all our goals that's with all the first places and even a medal at Worlds, it's beyond anything that we would have expected.
Yeah, we're definitely ecstatic with how this year went.
Yeah. When we set out the goal at the beginning of the season, some would have said it was a bit far-fetched, but to have achieved most of it is pretty surreal. Yeah.
If you would pick one highlight, what would it be of the last year?
For me, it probably would be winning finals at the same time as Piper and Paul and being there together.
Yeah, I'd say personally for me, it was probably the feeling after the first Gdansk free dance. Because that was the first time that we'd actually put out a skate that I don't know about Nadiia, but personally that we felt we couldn't have done it much better.
Yeah, we were proud. Yeah, for sure. I agree.
And for the first international of that season, we were really, really excited.
Awesome. So let's go back a little bit in time and to your roots. How did you start skating?
Oh, do you want to start this one?
I'll start this one. So I started skating in the UK, as you could probably tell, with a little bit of the twinge in my accent. I started it pure coincidence because my parents always wanted me to get into sport, and they got me into athletics, and conveniently the athletics building was across the street from an ice rink, and the athletics coach wasn't there the day that I went to do athletics, and I went to the ice rink. Loved it ever since, and I'm still in the sport, so I can't really say much other than that. That was back in 2008 or 9, I think.
Yeah, definitely a happy accident, you know?
Happy accident.
For me, it was less accidental. It was definitely purposeful. I kind of followed footsteps of my oldest sister. At the age of 2, my parents put me into recreational skating to strengthen my immune system because I was a sick baby. Besides just strengthening my own immune system, I fell in love with the freedom I had in skating. And I've always been a huge dancer, so I've always danced and made recitals for my families.
Personality.
Yeah, so I think once I was skating and I realized how much of an artistic side it has to it, I really fell in love with it and continued doing it. And after about a few years in single skating, I decided that jumping isn't really my thing, and I moved to ice dance, and yeah.
What about you, Peter? You also started as a single skater?
Yes, I did. Actually, I did novice in the UK. I came second at the British Championships back in a long time ago. But it was one of those, I had to weigh up my decisions on what would get me the furthest in the sport, and with the level of my jumps at my age, I thought, I probably should stick to ice dance because I did both at the time. Yeah. I had a partner, and
and I think you were very
I'm an artsy skater.
Yeah, and I think
if that makes sense.
That's what really, and I kind of feel like that's what makes us stand out, anyways, because that's what I was like as a child. I was very expressive, and you are pretty much the same way. You just do it naturally, and it just
Yeah, that would have been one of my follow-up questions. Like, what do you think makes you stand out as a team? So you think that expression necessary?
For sure, I can say that we both agree on that fact that we do a lot of storytelling, and we definitely have connection that cannot be really explained.
I'd say we connect really well with music. So, like for the short program, for instance, and the free, really this season, we both connected to it, felt like we felt it through our bones as such. So when each time we performed it, it got better and better, and we really just sort of
it's always for sure our intention to perform for others to feel what we feel. Like I've said it before, but
Throwing
it's
emotion through skating.
it's a job of an artist to portray our feelings with our art.
So you, Nadia, you moved to Canada from Ukraine at the age of like 12 or something.
Yes.
Maybe talk about how this experience was for you. You came without any English or like?
Yes,
Yeah.
I actually, well, I had a basic knowledge of
Yeah.
English. I didn't speak, I understood a little bit, but it was very rough
The
and
first year we were speaking sort of
broken.
broken
Yeah.
English.
But I think immigration really shaped me into the person that I am today because it is not easy. And I really sympathize with a lot of people that do have to move countries, whether it is their choice or not. It's hard because it's a whole new world. And I'm very, I don't know, thankful that Canada is so welcoming and accepting. But it was definitely a lot of adapting and a lot of work, and I'm just grateful for my parents because, I mean, they really gave me this opportunity, and I wouldn't have changed anything from my past. I love being Ukrainian, and I love my own, culture, but being here in Canada has really given me like so many opportunities. So I think that experience really just, it was amazing.
You moved here with the entire family, right? Yeah.
Yes, my
Yeah.
parents and my sisters, my grandparents and uncles and aunts, everyone's still
Yeah.
in Ukraine, but
Yeah. So I guess also the situation with Ukraine now also affects you, obviously. Yeah.
it was definitely a big factor last year, and it still
Yeah.
is. Both of my uncles are in the army, and my
Wow,
uncle is
yeah.
on the front lines, so it is definitely very nerve-wracking, but they're so strong mentally that I just have so much faith in them.
Yeah.
And faith in Ukraine as well.
Let's hope that just the war ends
Yeah.
sooner and let's move back to your
Yeah.
skating. How did you two end up skating together?
Woof, this is a long story, isn't it? So, funnily enough, our coaches, Jon Lane on Nadia's
Yeah.
side and my old coach, Vivian Dean, they used to skate together a long time ago back in the UK. And I was skating. I'd just broken up with my previous partner in, it's going to be late 2016. And Nadiia was looking for a partner, and she was training in Toronto, Canada at the time. And Jon happened to come over to the UK for the British Championships with Katerina and Lucas. And Jon and Viv met up and obviously had a chat, and and Viv basically said to him, "I have a boy, he's looking for a partner." And Nadiia was like, Jon was like, "I have a girl, she's also looking for a partner." And so we sort of connected through that. And then in the January of the new year, we had a tryout, sort of thought, I think it'll work out. And then a couple months later, after I finished my exams at school, I came to fully train in Scarborough with Nadiia.
It's very interesting, because for Peter, that's where his story started. For me, my family and we were on Ice Partner Search, and Peter was there as well. And that's how I found him. And my parents, we kind of just reached out to our coaches because it seemed like a mutual connection, and that's how it got to Peter. But it definitely, it was my initiative to approach coaches. And I hope you didn't feel like it might work out when you started skating with me, because for me, it felt like it was meant to be.
No,
it felt
we matched.
perfect.
Yeah.
I think I've skated with boys before, and I've tried a bunch of with the senior boys in our rink, and it just never felt so natural as it did with you.
Yeah.
And I think it was the same for you.
Yeah.
So you've been skating together now for around 5 years or
Six, I think
already? Yeah.
This was our.
I've been in Canada for 7 years, so 6 years.
I came in 2017. So 6, yeah.
6 years. Yeah.
So yeah, a long
I know.
time.
The 7th season. Crap.
Wow. So maybe you can say what you appreciate most about each other.
Put it this way, we've
I
learned
need to
a
give
lot
him-
about each other
Yeah,
in the past
I think
6 years.
I think I'll give you some time to think. Okay. You want to go first then?
No, you
Okay. Yeah. I think personally, what I appreciate, and I think this actually we can bring it to the example from yesterday. We are able to communicate and to understand each other. And after yesterday's skate, we sat down and
We weren't happiest
We
with
weren't
the skate?
happy, for sure. We wanted more, we wanted to win, but we knew that this isn't the mindset that we need to have.
And not everything goes
To
to
plan,
yeah.
always, that's life. And I think what I appreciate about you the most is that we're able to talk and we're able to have those
We
conversations.
were able to get on the same level. After the show, we were both
Yeah.
upset, but on different sort of reasons why we were upset.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The question is why I appreciate you, and I appreciate you because you can communicate, and that's definitely not something many people can do. It's all
What
yours.
you said.
No, you can't say that back. You have to
No.
say something new about me.
Something new?
Yeah, to say something original that you appreciate about me.
No, I appreciate that Nadiia is always willing to understand not just my own personal issues with how my emotions are, but we're also always looking forward to the positives in skating, in life, in general, in everyday life. So
Yeah.
it's good that we can always have a positive outlook on
Yeah.
anything that we do.
Yeah.
So I think communication is something very important and probably a main key. Also, not only on ice, also off ice relationships to work. So it's great if you speak the same language. So you are training also in Toronto now under Carol Lane, also for all this time. Maybe you can talk a little bit what you appreciate about her coaching and why you love working with her.
I think Carol
Always
sees.
pushes us.
She for sure always pushes us, but besides just that, I think she sees a lot of herself in me, and I really appreciate of how much comfort I find in her, and how much she actually took me in as her own kid throughout these years. I am her skating child, and she's walked me through the steps of how to act, how to talk to people, how to greet, how to just be the human. She shaped me to be a Canadian, and I really appreciate, I think, how much she's connected with me on a deeper level, more than just a coach.
Where do I start? So Carol and I, we had quite a good relationship, even to start with. Well, we have. I'm not saying had, but because we're both British, we sort of had that mutual sort of connection. But we're as a team.
What do you appreciate her about?
No, what do we?
To you personally.
I know, but what if it's we?
You can talk about we, that's
Yeah.
fine.
I was so selfish to talk about
I know.
myself.
I was gonna say.
It's all good.
The question is to be.
No.
Anyways, keep going.
No, I was just saying that we're really lucky to have her, and it's one of those things. Whenever we get to the rink, she always has a mindset for us, and we are always looking forward to having her enthusiasm and
She's very
expertise
passionate.
and her passion, really.
Yeah. She transfers a lot of that onto
Yeah.
us.
And it's nice the fact that she sees us as her proteges. Really, I hate to say that word, but
Really?
like,
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
But yeah,
I wasn't thinking that way.
no, but like it feels nice to be looked at as in a term of this is a long-term thing, and it's
Yeah, she
hopefully going to
definitely.
move up the ranks.
Yeah, you're right. She definitely. I mean, she's walked us through everything, through the downs and through the ups, and
Exactly. Yeah.
she's always had faith in ourselves. Like, she never gave up on us. She never, when we had awful days and when we were being awful to her, she's
Or
never
awful
given
to
up
each
on
other,
us.
yeah.
Yeah, so she's
Yeah.
always just been there.
Amazing. You found the right partners and the right coach.
Yeah.
So perfect setup to go up to senior level, what you will be doing. So maybe you can express your feelings again about this change and yeah.
I think
Do you want to go first?
actually, yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
no, go ahead.
I like to say it almost feels a bit like a door is opening. I wouldn't say
New page.
I wouldn't say yeah. It's a new chapter in a book. It's something that we both really looked forward to. 'Cause we see all the senior teams at our rink, and it was nice being the top juniors, but obviously we wanted to make the step up, and so to finally have that opportunity, it feels like a breath of fresh air,
Yeah.
a bit of freedom. And I
Yeah.
think, like I say, for both of us, we're honestly really looking forward to next season.
I think so. I mean, last year, if you would have asked us this question, we would have been very tentative and unsure if this is the right thing. And I think this year, we feel really comfortable moving up, and like I said, very excited. And everything Peter said is right. We're looking for the new challenge, the new type of feeling, the new type of nerves. Everything is going to be new, and it's just very thrilling. It's exciting.
Do you have any plans yet about your programs, your costumes, your choreographers you'll be working with?
We're keeping things closed.
We are keeping things close, but what I can say is that it's going to be different. It's going to
be a new side of us.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be showing something new.
Yeah. So you've decided, but of course it's obvious you want to keep it secret.
Intriguing.
Yes.
You on your toes, really, yeah.
Can you talk already, like, who will be choreographing the programs? Also still a secret.
Usually, when we choreograph our programs, a lot of it is coming from Carol and Juris.
Yeah.
And
us.
And Marc as well. But a lot of it is from us too. We feel movements, and the coaches be like, "Oh yes, we want to use this, we want to use that," and so we feel like we have some input.
We are given a lot of freedom on that. We're given the time to experiment, and then we propose our ideas. We've done it this season. A lot of the programs have our own.
The red violin. I picked the.
We definitely have a lot
tango,
of input in what we're doing. So choreography is going to be done by Carol, Juris, and Marc, and ourselves. And then on top of that, we are going to be having almost like special guests. There are undetermined, so I cannot particularly give you the names because I don't want to say it before it's confirmed, you know?
Of course, but I think it's really important that you give your own personal note, and I love you picking the music. As you're moving up to seniors, what do you technically especially want to work on during the F season? What do you want to improve on?
So technically, we're looking forward to like learning the silver samba and seeing how that goes. We're gonna obviously keep improving our skating skills, trying to like find out the little details and make sure everything's on point, as if that's a way I can say it. And just make sure that we can look like a senior team, not want to be a senior team.
For sure. I think we're definitely going to be putting a little bit more of an accent on like spicing up certain things, like spicing up our lifts, maybe more tricks, something more in that side, as well as a lot of character to bring out. So like we said, we want to surprise people, so we're definitely going to be stepping out our out of comfort zone.
Yeah, we are looking forward to see a new style. Really exciting for what it's going to be. Is there any kind of style or piece of music that, not next season, but in general, you dream of skating to, or something that always impressed you?
I mean, for me, I've said always the same thing. I really want to do Swan Lake. I'm a big fan. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do White Swan, which is, I think it's an incredibly hard character to perform. So I really want to take on that challenge.
I was just saying, I don't particularly have a specific music
genre
in mind, but I'm really looking forward to the 80s genre, because my dad used to listen to a lot of 80s in the car, and that's where I get it from.
Yeah, it's definitely your cup of tea.
Yeah. That's so cool. Maybe let's move a little bit outside of skating. Do you have a long-time goal that you would say you have outside of skating, what you want to achieve?
For me, I mean, I have this very silly dream of, I just have a very like, it's silly, but I just want to be famous. I've always wanted to be in the middle of the spotlight. Yeah, I know. Okay, whatever. But it's like I've always done everything to, to be out there. Yeah. So I am definitely looking into acting, into just anything that will put me in the spotlight, which is really sad, but it's the truth.
No, I think it's really cool that you say that out and honest, and I think you really have a personality for that.
Thank you.
Well, compared to Nadiia, I'm a bit boring, honestly. Apart from skating, which is probably my personality, really, I think it's one of those, is just to enjoy the future, not take everything too seriously, live a day at a time. Like with skating, after we've done what we feel is sufficient for us, and we're happy with how our careers have gone. I think definitely staying in the sport for me.
We're both actually
We're both really passionate about, staying with skating, because skating has done a lot for us. It's taken to us all around the world, even up to junior level. And we're looking forward to seeing where it goes from there, really, and giving back to the skating community.
Yeah, I think to be more specific, like Peter and I actually, a while back when we started skating, talked about coaching together and like making our own club and doing almost what Carol and Juris have going on, because I think it works very well. So yeah, we're definitely both
involved in skating.
Yeah,
somehow,
involved in skating. It is our life at this point, which don't judge.
Oh, that's why you came so far. Perfect. Like, as a last question, what do you like? What do you do outside of skating? Are you still in school? Are you studying something? Are you working something on the side? And what are your hobbies?
Do you want to go first?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my permanent residency to come through. It has been a while. Smashing. I've had a little issue with the COVID situation. Of course, my application went in right as COVID started, so it has been a while. But yeah, hobbies outside of skating too. I'm just trying to think. Sorry, the question I've gone off it.
You pass on to Nadiia and you think about it.
Okay, okay, great. Well, I'm very a busy person. I can't sit still. Like, it's a bit difficult to live like that for me. So I do a lot of things. I love my work. I work as a barista in a coffee shop, and I enjoy baking, dancing. I mean, yoga. I'm a big fan of that now. I also really like Christology and anything spiritual. I've been reading tarot cards since I was like a kid. So I'm everywhere all the time. And like I said, I'm going to pursue acting very soon. So I think I'm very excited to do that. And outside of skating, I'm really big on having more to life than just skating, because it gets very hard for you to handle so much stress all the time, especially if you're just thinking about skating. So I do a lot outside. And of course, my YouTube channel. I love editing videos. Yes, right.
So everyone, check out Nadia's YouTube channel.
A little promotion for myself.
Definitely, definitely. What's your blog about the Grand Prix final? So we'll see.
Yes. I'm making one for Worlds, so you're gonna see this one.
Yeah.
So onto my small hobby. So I was currently, just before World started, I was doing an online course for kinesiology, because I like the aspect of how the human body works, and obviously with skating, when we have physio and stuff, it's always like, why does this hurt? Oh, that's because something up there, blah, blah, blah. There's always a reason for that. So it always interested me to do some sort of like physiology and kinesiology.
So you're into body?
Yeah, she's interviewing me.
Good. I think that's it from my side. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you.
And see you next season in seniors. We're all excited.
Thank you so much.